Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Coffee and Cannoli podcast. We are joined once again today by the Putty Man over to my right and Campo right below. For some reason, Campo always ends up on the bottom.
Wow. He's a good bottom. He makes for a good bottom.
He supports the rest of us. How about that?
Oh, wow. You had to get
structurally sound.
Structurally
sound, sir.
So on this episode, gentlemen, we are going to be going through our list of our top 5 favorite voice actors in video games. So video game voice actors or actresses. Mm-hmm. I know it's all one term now. So since Putty's making stupid faces, we'll have him go first.
Well, you know how I like to do my voices. All right. My number 5 is actually the only cap, and that would be Troy Baker and John Dimaggio.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So before I go, because I'm assuming I'm next.
Yes, you are.
So I would just like to start off by saying, number 1, I only did men because I thought it was actors. So forgive me for not having any women on this list.
Wow.
Okay. And also, as much video games as I've played, until I actually looked it up, I did not even know the names of any voice actors ever in history for any games, and I'm being so serious. And then when I saw them, I compiled my list based on being like, holy crap, that guy does that voice? Okay. Anyways.
Hey, makes sense. Like sometimes that's the best way to discover this.
Yeah, I kind of wish it would do the same thing.
Because it's not like advertised. Voice acting for games are not
yet supported.
Okay then.
Voice acting Google on my phone just
there's a glitch in the matrix.
But you know what I mean, right? Like it's not like on a poster like this guy's the voice actor of this.
Unless it's like a big celebrity name.
Right? Well,
like,
I capped my 5 with 2 celebrities because I figured I'm just going to get the celebrities out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
I have Keith David, well known for playing David Anderson in Mass Effect.
Yep.
And
the vice president in
Saints Row.
Yeah.
He does a lot, but I'm just that was my one that right in my head.
Yeah, but Anderson is the biggest one there.
Yeah. Mark Hamill as well.
Mm-hmm.
And surprisingly for Mark Hamill, it came to mind because I've been playing DC supervillains and he plays the Trickster. And so that immediately clicked in my head. But he obviously has many. Both of them have a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Surprisingly a lot.
Yeah, Mark Hamill's a good pick.
So that's my caps.
My number 5 is a classic. And he only does the one voice, and that's Charles Martinet, which is the voice of Mario.
Yep. That's funny, too. I've got him on honorable mentions. The only reason why I didn't put him on the list is because that's literally the only voice he does, but he deserved to get some mentions. So I'm glad you put him on your list.
Yeah, Charles Martinet. Here we go, Mario. It's the only the one voice.
Copyright.
I just did a voice.
Wait, Mario is not
I'm Italian.
Doesn't matter.
Hurry up, Putty.
Putty, you're number 4.
All right, my number 4 will be Tara Strong. Ooh, we know one voice she does.
She does the voice of Harley Quinn in the Arkham games.
Yep.
Which is actually my least favorite version of Harley Quinn.
Really?
Yes. That's my favorite. You know what's funny? I won't go too
What's
deep.
What's her name? Arlene Sorkin,
yes.
Is it? Yeah, she's
in my own mentions. Yeah.
I always thought the person that I really liked that does her was Tara Strong, but then I found out that it's not even her. And then when I heard Tara Strong do her in Batman and Harley Quinn, the movie, I was like, I hate this. Like, I absolutely hate this. And it's funny, like, I'm not dissing your pick.
No.
Because she's a great voice actor.
She is.
But
like,
I always thought of her as the person who did it in the animated series, and it's not her.
Yeah. It was Arlene Sorkin, I think is her name. Yeah.
So that is her name. Okay, so anyways. Is it me?
You're number 4. Yeah, you're number 4.
My number 4, I'm going with Steve Blum, Ares in God of War. That's my go-to. He's one of the best voice actors out there. Just going to point out, he does Spike Spiegel in my favorite anime. So, shout out.
Word up to him. My number 4 is my number 4, which is number 1 in Putty's heart, and that's Ashley Birch.
She'll be mentioned soon. Don't worry.
Ashley Birch is probably most famously known for, I guess, Tiny Tina in the Borderlands series. She's just like this wonderful, and she's like, if you follow her, what you playing, Ash, like
you're literally setting up for what I was actually going to say later.
Yeah, she is just like this, like, well, save that for Putty, but she is
never
one of the most.
Of this person.
No, but she also voices Aloy in the Horizon series.
Not helping me.
Yeah,
that's fine.
But yeah, she's a great actress, actor, and she's just one of the most lovable people you can ever meet. I never met her, but she seems like it.
If he did meet her, he would love her.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, she's amazing. And we'll get to her later again.
Putty would also crush her because she's like 5'1" or
Oh,
something.
she's so small, but so adorable. But again, also, she would never take me. Well. Yeah,
I wouldn't either.
No man can have her. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, all right. Number three.
Number 3.
All right, for me, number 3 was the legend himself, Mark Hamill. I mean, it's just Mark Hamill. I had to, you give me the list no matter what. You know what I mean? So I'm not even.
I put my celebrities at the end because I was like,
No,
but I agree,
it,
Putty. I'm not. No, I can't.
I can't knock Mark Hamill. Mark
Hamill's only the literally like celebrity on this list. I would say outside maybe the next person.
But here's a little interesting tidbit. When the first Yakuza game first came out in the US on the PlayStation 2, Mark Hamill did the voice of Goro Majima. So
he was actually going to be my choice of people to pick, but because I played the game in Trickster, I just went with that. But that's a dope one. Okay, so my number 3. Okay, now we're getting into the territory where it stops being even about what I like, and it's just people that you have to have on this list, I feel like. And once again, I did miss the memo about being men and women. But Nolan North, I don't have to say anything else.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what he's
Everybody knows who Nolan North is.
My number 3.
My number 3 is another female talent, the voice of female shepherd. She's also done the voice of Bastila, I believe, in Knights of the Old Republic. Yeah, and that's Jennifer Hale.
I knew it. Literally right there. You guys are knocking out my honorable mentions like crazy.
Yeah. The only right choice in Mass Effect was female shepherd.
I'm okay with that. Oh, my number 2?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, my number 2, it's already been discussed, but I will say this and say it in the way I wanted to. When I was introduced to this female, it was not by her voice, but by game trailers, me constantly putting up trailers for video games, and it got recommended to me back when YouTube was their recommendations. Actually, I felt were pretty good. And JD already mentioned her, and that is number 2, Ashley Birch. I fell in love with Ashley Birch's voice in her own characters, in her own show. But then when I found out that her brother was the one that worked on Borderlands and they brought her in as Tiny Tina, like when I heard Tiny Tina the first time I played Borderlands 2, I was
no, continue.
But the first time I heard her, I was like, that sounds familiar. And then the first thing I thought about was the voice of her doing the thing from The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. Like when she did that, I'm like, and I fell in love with Ashley Birch. I mean, there's so many great things about her because one, she's an advocate for people that have like anxiety when it comes to presenting. So like to see someone that's so uplifting, inspiring, exciting to have anxiety just kind of made her more like, oh, I want to give you a big hug. You know what I mean?
A social activist who's going about things the right way. And I think is a good way to put it. And
the funny thing is she's so adorable. She's so lively. She's so fun. She's so good with her voices. And then at the same time, everyone I've heard, like when we talk about people you meet, they've said that she is one of the nicest people you ever meet, that I want to meet her. But then like you said, I would crush her and I would like, I don't want to hurt you, but you're so adorable, you know? So yeah, I have my own. I have my own little crush on Ashley Birch, and she got number 2 on my spot. So there you go.
Okay. Campo, you're number 2.
So yeah, I agree with everything Putty just said if I knew who that was. So my number 2 is he's like a mythological creature. And I always just want to call him Charles Martinet because it sounds better. But Charles Martinet, like,
yeah, he's.
Hey, listen, I understand he hasn't done that much. He's done more than Mario, but like not that much. But it's so iconic what he's done that it's you can't even compare. Just that one character is so iconic, like it has to be on the high. On the
back when we were, remember, was it back in March when we were? Was it March? No, when we were.
He's always there. He's going to be there again.
But I mean, that lineup, even for one of the first fan expos back, that lineup for Charles Martinet was huge.
Oh, he had like the biggest lineup except Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah, it was such.
It was funny because the CW people had literally no lines.
Yep.
And the lineups for Trailer Park Boys and Charles Martinet were.
Know your audience, I guess. Know your audience. My number 2 is a legend in the industry, mentioned already, and that's Troy Baker.
He is a legend. I agree.
The closest Mark Hamill sounding Joker since Mark Hamill.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Putty, number 1.
My number 1. Well, this is quite obvious. I mean, even though he's done other character roles and he's done fantastic jobs, so it's not, he's done amazing, but he's already been mentioned on this list. But come on, he is the voice of a certain character that Ryan Reynolds does that he also does, and that is of Deadpool,
Green Lantern.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Right. I'm talking about Nolan North. 100% Nolan North is my number 1 voice actor. He had to. It's not even Deadpool. Like, look at all the iconic voices he's done. He's more recognizable as a voice actor than any other voice actor. That's the reason why when I saw Uncharted, spoiler alert, and I saw him, it's funny when I see people and they don't recognize him. And but then the people that do, it's a little kinship. You're like, yeah, you know. So
if you know, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So Nolan North, Nolan North, number 1 voice actor on my
All
list.
right, so my number 1, because it's my turn.
No way.
You take your most recognizable Nolan North, you roll it up in a little ball, you throw it in the garbage, because the best voice actor ever is Troy Baker. It's not even remotely close. Almost none of his characters sound the same. His range is ridiculous between what he does, and the fact that he can pull off no one else does a Mark Hamill sounding Joker except Troy Baker. I find like Nolan North is on my list, so I'm not going to knock him hard.
Yeah.
But a lot of his stuff sounds the same.
True.
It's kind of reminiscent of John Dimaggio as his animated work.
Well, I mean,
a lot of
John Dimaggio, you're right. If you listen to Jake the Dog and then you listen to Marcus Phoenix and you listen to Bender Rodriguez, it's
and
the
then
same.
You listen to all his characters in the new show on Netflix.
I wanted to give him props, but that's why I got 5. Like,
but he is a great voice actor. I'm not knocking it.
The
but
voice of Marcus Phoenix, right?
If I'm talking extreme like range, Troy Baker has like a huge range, and I love everything he does. Well, great. We all have good lists. This is
that's why Troy Baker is at number 5. Because the thing is, I felt he deserved to be on the list, but John Dimaggio was for different reasons. Because again, Gears of War, Jake, that kind of thing.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, I know they're all good.
I'm not defending. I'm not defending. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying you do have a good list.
I just want to agree with you. As basically, he has way more better range. It's just, of course, personally, it's gonna be Nolan North, and that's just because
that's fair, man. Except for that girl that I have no idea who she is. Your guys' lists are great.
I mean, you got to look up Ashley Burch.
I
guarantee you'll enjoy her show. It's a funny show.
I already don't like her because you like her.
Whatever.
My number 1 is the same as Putty's, and it was a hard decision to 1 and 2 are easily interchangeable. Obviously, it's Nolan North, but going to back what Campo was saying and what Putty was saying, if it wasn't for Nolan North, we wouldn't have a Troy Baker.
Yes.
So I think that's why I gave Nolan North the number 1 spot, is because he's just an icon in the industry. It's because 100%. Of him. It's because of him we now have all these great voice actors coming into the forefront. Back then, before, it was just random NPC voices. It was just a developer that they had record a few lines into the mic for the game. Now they actually put passion and focus.
You gotta love those PS2 and PlayStation days where they literally just went to Eastern Europe and were like, here, random people do the voices. And it's or Resident Evil, where they just hired random models from Europe to just be these little video cutscenes, but they didn't even know what they were doing it for.
It's there's that meme for the I think it was Elder Scrolls 4, where the lady recording her voice lines, you could actually hear her, they left it in the game. Wait, I don't like that one. Let's redo it.
Did they really?
Yeah.
So he's the one who brought and Nathan Drake. It's
doesn't he do the guy from who does the
Last
guy
of
from
Us?
Last of Us?
Yeah, he's Joel as well. Yeah. So.
Yeah. See, another thing is, I could be wrong about this. Someone could correct me in the comments, but when it comes to someone Mark Hamill is a different story because he was an actor before he became a voice actor. You know what I mean? But what makes Nolan North so great is this was, I think, and again, spoiler alert for Uncharted. I'm just going to say that out right now. If you have not seen the movie, go see it. But he does appear in the movie, and if you don't know who he is, you're going to miss it. But for them to recognize, hey, this is a prominent voice actor that needs to get a little bit of love. So for him to have that one tiny moment, it's bigger in a lot of ways because it feels like it's more representative of something that used to be overshadowed. You know what I mean? When it comes to voice acting,
it's a validation of his career, I think, is by
Exactly.
putting him in the movie.
Yeah, that's
But
what
I think you're going to see stuff like that a lot coming up, where
But that's
like
just
Tara
like what he
Strong
does.
appearing in a Harley Quinn movie or something. You know, like you're going to start to see that a lot because the culture is changing. Where now the people making these movies are fans of those things, where before people weren't, right? Like when they were making Batman in the 90s, Joel Schumacher didn't know anything about Kevin Conroy, or I'm sure he would have been in a movie.
But that's my whole point. That's what I'm saying. I feel like Nolan North, again, based on just that, is setting the standards for what you're going to see. You know what I mean? And that's why
there's a few trailblazers you could definitely look at and be like what's his name? Oh my God, West. The guy,
Billy West.
Billy West.
Yeah.
Like absolutely set the tone for the modern day of voice acting.
Rob Paulson is another one.
What's his name? Casey Kasem.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the point. Those are voices.
Shaggy.
They were the ones that led the voice acting when it comes to animation. Video game voice acting. You got to remember back in the day when anyone would hire a video game voice actor.
I'm just saying, there's always always people that are the first ones that lead the way for everybody else, right? And that's a good thing. Now, I mean, the top three are iconic.
Yeah.
For me, at least, my top three were like, you can't not have these top three in the top 5 list.
And same thing with like mine, where I had like, if you know what, guys, want to go through your list again? Then Putty, go through your list again.
Okay, so for number 5, I capped it is Troy Baker and John Dimaggio. Number 4, Tara Strong. Number 3, Mark Hamill. Number 2, even though I know a lot of people might not have it high on the list, it's just personal. This one definitely is personal. Ashley Birch. And then, of course, number 1, Nolan North.
My number 5 is Caps, Keith David and Mark Hamill. My number 4, Steve Blum. My number 3, Nolan North. My number 2, Charles Martinet. And freaking call the Martinet again. Martinet and Troy Baker, number 1.
My number 5 was Charles Martinet. Number 4 was Ashley Birch. Number 3 was Jennifer Hale. Number 2 was Troy Baker. And number 1 was Nolan North. So going back to what you were saying, I think I know Campo, you I guess you misunderstood the list. So
I just didn't read it properly. Yeah. So
no, that's fine. And like, I mean, we all know, like, I mean, there's another one too. She became the voice. Well, why don't we do some honorable mentions first? And Campo, you give me an honorable mention if you have any.
Yeah, I do. It's Kevin Conroy. That's my only honorable mention. Okay. I didn't. This is like I said, I'm going to be honest with you. This is not something I'm very passionate about when it comes to video games. The voice acting is not really important to me. I know that sounds really strange. So I don't have a connection to this. So even though there's so many people I could go through on the list, I'd rather hear it come from you guys who that's like really your thing than have like a huge list of honorable mentions. So I just stuck to my basics.
Well, I mean, I have a few, not a lot.
I got some,
yeah. What about you, Putty? What are some of yours?
Well, I only have 2 other ones because you guys already said Matthew Mercer, right?
No, we didn't say Matthew Mercer.
Oh, didn't? Okay. Well, then I'll go ahead and put that one out there. Matthew Mercer was one of the ones I had to put on my list, but not really the top one. I thought one of you guys said
that's a good choice, though. Actually,
yeah.
Like that. But, actually, you know what? I'm adding that one to my honorable mention.
Right.
Matthew Mercer's a good one. My one of my top honorable mentions is you got to go with David Hayder, the voice of Solid Snake.
Yep.
He only does the voice of Solid Snake, but it's an iconic voice. And like, that's why a lot of my honorable mentions, it's just, they didn't make the list because they only have that one character that they portray.
That's the next 2. Yep. That's it.
So
it's funny too, because there's a lot of people that are so iconic in this industry for this. Yeah. But then when you look at the stuff they did, like especially like Final Fantasy, for example, like a lot of the voice acting is just like literally a person talking in their voice.
And Tara Strong, I think, did was it in Final Fantasy X? She did a voice.
Yeah,
it was
it is Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, it's
Riku, I think she did the voice.
Yeah. Because the reason I knew was I just couldn't remember Riku's name is because she reminded the blonde hair and everything, the way she looked, it really was a familiarity to where that's when I first really heard her, and of course Harley Quinn were the ways I started remembering Tara Strong, because she has that kind of look, that kind of
the Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, that's my favorite actually voice that she does.
But see, that's for this is more towards once on video games.
Yeah.
That for me is
that's why we are a little bit off there. But so you're correct. I mean, if it's not Tifa, it doesn't count. You know what I mean?
Now,
FTL.
all right. Now, the other two I have, these two are only voice actors. I mean, they might have other roles I didn't look at, but they only have roles for one particular character that I really love.
Mm-hmm.
And so for this one, it's Overwatch, my favorite character. She does the voice of Diva, and that's Charlotte Chung. I that voice every time I hear her.
That's
that
my
voice,
favorite character in the game as well, and that's a wonderful choice.
So
I didn't have
amazing.
women. I didn't pick through women,
Yeah,
so I didn't even look at the list. But I mean, yeah, that's a great one because you know what? My favorite two characters in that game were Tracer and Diva, and shout out to both of them. Like those are good characters, good voice acting.
Yeah, Diva and Soldier 76 would be my favorite, and of course, we already know who does the voices of Soldier 76, so that's kind of like easy in that way. But yeah, Charlotte Chung, I had to give her a shout out, even though it's one character. It's so memorable to me that every single time, like you know how you hear a voice and you're like, oh, I know who that is, and she can do it in any. She could be doing the voice of Diva in, I don't know, in like a Pac-Man game, and I'm like, oh, I know that voice. You know what I mean? I know that particular voice, so that's why I had to mention it.
Good call.
Mine, I got another one, and like I said, it's another one of those one, and it's basically he's only known for the one voice, and that's Christopher Judge, the current voice of Kratos.
Dang it! I'm so mad you picked my other mention because I was going to mention our video of casting. I was like, I casted him as He's my other one that he's literally picked my last ever mention. Dang it!
Yeah, you got to mention Christopher Judge.
That's
He was wasn't he also in like Stargate?
Yeah, but the thing is that I don't remember
the TV series.
Was. Yeah, well, but see, the thing is,
the original Stargate series, SG-1, I think it was.
Yeah, the television series. Yeah. Because he was the one that had the alien the thing on his
on his forehead.
Yeah, which again, even now when you look at him, he looks so different. But that's another reason why when we did that other list, I said, oh, he would play a great Spawn. He has that menace, that look to it. You know what I mean? But yeah, by far, every time you hear him say "boy," it's like he's like you're like, oh, dude, this is gonna be sick. Like
I want him that first trailer. I'm sorry, Father. Don't be sorry. Be better.
I love it. Oh my god. But so you basically just named my other honorable mention. I was excited to say. So there you go.
Sorry, I got lost there.
No worries. I guess Campo, you don't have any more, right?
No, I'm good.
Okay, I want to throw a couple more out there. I want to throw out Michael Ironside.
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
Splinter Cell, Sam Fisher. We're still waiting. A few weeks back, we did the sequels. We've never got Splinter Cell. We're still waiting on Splinter Cell too. So
yeah, I can't even believe I didn't have that on my list.
None of us did.
Splinter Cell.
And I want to. I think it's Camilla Ludstone. She voices Lara Croft in the new.
Isn't it Ludgate? Camilla
Ludgate. Sorry, yeah. Ludgate. Yeah.
That actually, if we were doing women, she would have been on my list. I think she does a great job with that new
Tomb Raider
series.
Yeah, and that's all I got.
That's all. That was it. That literally, like I said, Christopher was the last one that I had.
Sorry, go Putty. Go.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, no, I was just gonna say there's a lot of good voice actors that I just can't I'm sure I can go and do another list of my favorite indirect particular. But the reason I picked those for those is because their voices had more of an iconic feel. I'm sure there's a lot of other Overwatch characters that I can point out and pull out of the bag and say, oh, that one's good for each character. But when you have a commanding voice, whether it's very feminine, whether it's very, has strength to it, it's going to make me want to look that name up. So, but the problem is most of the names that we have on this list, Nolan North, Troy Baker, are people that already command that. So, with several characters, so you don't have to pick out one when it comes to them because they already take over that role. If that makes sense.
And there's has anybody ever had the chance to watch the web series with Nolan North and Troy Baker?
No.
No. Yeah, when they're sitting there watching the TV, they're playing games or they're talking about. Yes, oh my god, that show's so great.
Go watch that. We'll see if we can have a link to that in the bio, as well as all these guys' information. You can find them all over the.
Ashley Birch there too, if you can.
I'll throw what you're playing, Atch. I'll throw that in there too. We'll throw that all in there. Other than that, guys, thanks again for joining us. Let us know in the comments below who your favorite video game voice actor or actress is. And on that note, thanks again for joining us. We'll see you all next time.